Guys, how you doing?
What?
There it is. Why did we not get the show opening? Hello good sirs and good madams, and welcome to the Steve Vai Appreciation Society. Today we're going to be talking about nothing but Steve Vai, hence the fact that I have an Ibanez, he has an Ibanez, he has an Ibanez, and well, you're going to get kicked out straight away.
I do have an Ibanez.
He does have an Ibanez. Well, welcome to the Guitar Hour, guys. Thank you so much for joining us as usual. Things are a tiny bit different today because we are dual streaming. We are dual streaming on YouTube and on Twitch. Do not switch the channel and go to Twitch if you're on YouTube, or go to YouTube if you're on Twitch, because you're seeing exactly the same thing. The only thing that might be confusing is we have a very cool setup here where I can see, or we can see both sets of chat from Twitch and YouTube. So if we reply to something, either in the chat or in person, and you've got no idea what we're talking about, that's why, because you can only see the chat, the thing that you're in. If you're really geeky and you're a really big Guitar Hour fan, you could get yourself on YouTube and Twitch and check out the chat from both. But you'd have to be a particularly ardent Guitar Hour fan to do that. Hello to everybody who's joining the stream. Hello Nicolaj, hello Tippy Dink, hello Anton, hello Zilgentino, Satch099, Paul Anderson. Hi guys, hi everybody who is joining us. Today is obviously all about, what's he saying? What's that?
It's Dan on the sauce again.
Dan's been on the sauce.
Not just me.
These two, I'll just introduce everybody in case you're new to the Guitar Hour, even though our names are above. I'm Tom Quayle, this is David Beebe.
Hi guys,
Dave Bronze.
Hello.
And Dan Smith, Sand Myth, the myth that is Dan Smith.
He's like pumping up your own name.
And these two have distinctly terrible hangovers from last night.
Well, Dan and I did a bad thing this morning.
I would rephrase that if I were you.
We did a bit of a hungover stream.
A live stream on
Facebook.
Jazz.
Yeah.
So, basically, it was BB's birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
So we had a bit of a jam and a kind of do around his house, and these two stayed up till 5 AM drinking, so I was very wise and left at about 1:30. So we have tons of stuff for you today, but obviously we are sporting, or at least 50% of us sporting Vai t-shirts. I guess 66 point, no, how does it work out in thirds? 66.6? No, what is it?
33.3.
No, but no, if you do, how many? No, it's 4 of us, so 75% of us. God, maths is not my strong point.
What just happened?
75.
I think Thomas trying to do numbers.
Just let me start that again. Forget the last 5 seconds happened. 75% of us are sporting Ibanez. Dan owns one, but the reason for this is obviously because Mr. Vai is around doing his 25th anniversary tour, Passion and Warfare, and we're going on Sunday.
Guitar Hour road trip.
So, it's going to be amazing. So we're all about Steve Vai today. In fact, we've changed our main feature to kind of coincide with Mr. Vai. It's called "How is Steve Vai was vital to our guitar development."
That wasn't even anything to do with me. That one.
It was not a Smith pun. That was a Quayle pun. Okay, so guys, we're going to transition straight into the news because we've got quite a few things to tell you about today. So we'll see you there. Our transitions are funky today. They keep doing weird things. I apologise, guys. We've got software things going on. Okay, so on Sunday, I think we told you about this last week. On Sunday, we are going to see Steve Vai in Manchester. Now, what I was supposed to do, and I forgot. Hi Wayne, how you doing? I was supposed to, or one of us was supposed to look for a bar nearby the venue. Maybe someone could do it on their phone now.
In fact, I have a list. So Matty Odd has sent us a list of bars near the venue, so I can.
Do you want to pick a bar?
Yeah.
Pick a bar. What we're going to do, guys, is we're going to
do that now.
We're going to go and hang out with Dave Weiner for the day. We're going to shoot a rig rundown for you guys because Dave's got a new rig for this tour. Dave's running a Daniel Steinhardt gig rig set up for his pedal board, which is very similar to mine with
Dave
the G2.
Weiner being the guitarist for the Vai band.
Everyone knows that, surely. Surely you all know that. I guess just in case. as Dave said, Dave Weiner is the guitarist, the other guitarist, because it might be a bit confusing saying he's the guitarist for Steve Vai, because Steve Vai's quite good on guitar himself.
Not very Dave.
Yeah, so and he's running his Friedman setup. We're gonna shoot some footage of Dave's rig and do a small interview for you guys. Absolutely, Friedman amps. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna shoot some stuff for you, and you guys will get to see that at the end of this season. So we kind of figured because he's in town, we'll do the Vi thing today. But we're gonna hang out at a bar beforehand. Do we have a bar?
I'm doing it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you guys want to come and hang out and just have a chat and share a beer,
Okay.
you can buy us a beer if you like. If you're feeling very generous, we'd like that.
Cheeky. Maybe
Ju-
not too many.
Jury's Inn is 260 yards away.
Right, we'll do that then. That's a hotel, but they must have a bar.
We'll have a bar,
What
probably.
else is on the list?
The Key of A flat,
That sounds very typical.
Millview.
Typical, topical.
Millview apartment. Inside. Oh no, this is where to sleep. No, sorry, forget that. Bars. The green room.
We don't
Buy us a room.
we don't want to sleep. We don't want to sleep with you. We want to.
No, just
Is
drink-
it just posting it on the day? People keep their eye on Facebook.
Yeah,
or-
what we'll do is we'll create an event, a guitar hour event,
And we'll post it.
You'll
Yeah.
be really clear.
Okay, let's do that.
But, yeah, it'll be like I don't know, a couple of
The
hours.
planning
before
is
the show.
happening live as it happens.
Obviously, if
Yeah.
you're watching in Singapore, this might be a tall order. But if you're somewhere around Manchester or you come into the Manchester gig, I'm assuming this Manchester gig is going to be packed. I've seen a lot of people
Yeah.
coming to it, so we'll do that. Okay, so a couple of quick reminders before I get on to the other thing I wanted to talk about today. We've got two concurrently running competitions. We actually kind of got three, but we'll talk about that other one later to do with Hawk picks that we're giving away. We'll do a raffle for the Hawk picks. The first competition is called Gasturbation. That is one of Dan's puns. Gasturbation, basically, we all know what gas is, gear acquisition syndrome. We want to see pictures of your gear, guys. We want you to share with us either on the Guitar Hour Facebook page, or it's probably easier to put them on your Facebook page and then tag us in them, tag the Guitar Hour in them,
Yeah.
of your gear. It can be crazy stuff, amazing stuff that we'll all gas over, or it can be the worst guitar you've ever owned.
That's something
And
you've made out of a bit of wood.
Absolutely,
You know,
yeah, absolutely.
C6 Steve
It-
kind of style.
If you've got like a gent stick and you would like us to see your
Gent
you want us to
stick?
see your gent stick, feel free to post that to us.
Oh.
It really doesn't matter. What we're going to do is we're going to pick our favourite
Rig.
rig, basically, yeah. And what did we say we were going to feature it or something? What was the
We should do like
they win something.
that you win something?
What was the old?
So
was it
vague.
Tony
You
Hawk?
win.
I'm sorry, I'm really not fun today.
You win. Well, I think we had decided, but we've forgotten. There is a prize involved. And all you have to do is upload a picture, so it's worth doing it. Yeah, we'll do like a gallery thing. These jokes are all so British. We've got more British jokes coming up later on. Everybody's watching abroad. Okay, so we've got that competition, Gasturbation. So upload pictures of your gear. It can be pedal boards, guitars, amps, whatever. It can be everything. We've already had a few in, but it's been a little slow. The other competition we're running has been a little bit quicker or more involved. This is our Guitar Hour solo competition.
Oh yeah.
Now the cool thing about this, you've all heard our epic soundtrack. You heard it at the beginning of the show, I hope. And you hear we
Mr.
play it
Bronze.
live at the end of every show. Dave wrote it, Dave Bronze here. He's a very, very gifted composer. And you guys can download that from our Facebook page, and we want you to play over the middle section that one of us always solos over during the end of the Guitar Hour. So that E minor section, we want you to solo over it, video it. If you can, try and get the best sound quality you can, but don't worry if not, you can just do it with a webcam or whatever. It doesn't need to be great sound quality, but it helps if it is. We're going to pick a winner, the one that we like the most. It's not about the number of notes you play, it's a combination of all the things. You know, we've seen some really great entries that are kind of slower and more kind of like groove based, and then we've seen some absolute shred freaks involved.
Yeah.
So it's all sorts of things. When we've picked a winner, we're going to incorporate it into the final show of this season. You'll be live, not live, we'll be live on the stream. You'll be incorporated into our live playing on the stream. And you'll be the guy who solos over the middle bit, and it will be on my YouTube channel forever, basically, or as long as YouTube exists, until the end of the world, the apocalypse. Apocalypse. Oh, dude, he's always on the ball. So you can do that. What you want to do is go on our Facebook page. Dave's done a post that gives you the rules. There are some rules because we don't want cheating involved. So there are some rules, and check that out. Download the track. Download it anyway. It's fun to play over, and hopefully you'll enter that. So the only other piece of news before we get into Dan's challenge for this week, unless these guys have got something as well, is to do with the Elba Triangle. I just want to say thanks because this album, the Elba Triangle, which I'm doing with Marcos Foley and Alessandro Benvenuti, Alex Argento, amazing lineup. Virgil Donati's on there as well, Anton Davidians, plus some incredible other players. That was officially funded on our Indiegogo campaign, so I cannot thank you enough. Thank
Well
you.
done, everybody.
Thank you very much for that.
Well,
But there is a little competition that's running with that as well, and this is actually not my giveaway. We're not actually to do with this, but I'm advertising it because it is to do with me in a large sense, but I didn't organise it. Laurie Monk. Laurie has always been a massive supporter of guitar via his blog Truth in Shredding from back in the day when I first started. Prior to that, in 2006 and 2007, Laurie's always been a massive supporter. So if Laurie's around, thank you for everything you do, Laurie.
Yeah,
We really
Laurie.
appreciate it. Yeah, Laurie has bought the Skype lessons that were part of one of the packages, Skype lessons with me, as part of one of the packages on the reward system from the Indiegogo campaign. So he's bought those. Laurie has very kindly decided to give those away to potentially to 2 or 3 people, I can't remember how many Skype lessons there were, who actually have supported the campaign. Now you can still support that campaign. It's running for another 60 days. It's made its target, but if you want to go, if you type into Google, I'll give you guys the actual the link for it later on. But if you type in Indiegogo Elba Triangle, you'll find the actual the link to it, and you can still support the actual the Elba Triangle album. And if you support it, when those 60 days are over, we're going to give away those 3 Skype lessons. I think it's 3 or 4 Skype lessons to people. They'll be randomly picked, and you can win a Skype lesson with me. If you don't want it, you can give it to someone else. If you do want it, great. So get yourselves onto that Elba Triangle Indiegogo campaign, and if you've already supported it, you're already into the draw. If you've not, get on there. You can win a Skype lesson with me. So there we go. That's pretty much all I've got to say. Anything you guys want to say?
Yeah, if the really unlikely thing is that it came up with me, because I've supported it, I would obviously donate that. We
Put it back on,
put
respend.
that back on.
yeah.
So.
Me too.
We should also mention the beers that we're drinking.
Oh yeah.
Which, well,
I finished mine.
what?
Oh, yeah.
Bronze.
Bronze has driven many miles from. You should all say thanks to Dave actually, because Dave has driven from the middle of nowhere. He's done a 3-hour drive to get here, and he's doing a 3-hour drive back to get back tonight, and he's left his family on holiday to do this. So the beer we're drinking is Crafty Down 13 Guns,
Crafty Down.
5.5%. It's an IPA. It's really nice in a can. Unusual. Okay, so go out and check that out as well. So without further ado, this is going to be interesting. Dan's challenge always is. Let's move into Dan's challenge. No transition here.
Yep.
Okay,
Boom.
guys. Well, that kind of worked. Okay, so Dan, what's your challenge for this week?
We've got a slightly different one this week. It's let me ask you a question.
Oh.
Nice.
So
See what you did there.
originally we were going to do all 4, but we've made it sort of player versus player, and then we might bring it back in another episode. But so this week we've got Dave Bronze answering 5 questions on Steve Vai,
Yes.
and we've got Dave Beebe answering 5 questions on Jesus himself.
Jesus.
Come on.
Who's to go first?
I should go first.
Okay, let me just.
It's very
Very generous of me.
yeah.
So you're going to
Very assertive
with
of
some
you, Dave.
very tense music.
Now we also have, if anybody from the UK is watching, which I hope they are, we thought it'd be quite nice to have some music in the background while while he's answering his questions. What I'd like you to do, Dave, is if you do know the answer, I don't want you to answer straight away.
Okay.
I want you to wait until the countdown music's finished. Because
Okay.
what the
It's quite long,
guys,
isn't it?
well, yeah, you can answer before then, I guess. But the guy, I want to give the guys on the stream a little bit of a chance to kind of get
Okay.
the answer as well. If that's all right.
Sure.
Okay, so 5 questions.
5.
5 questions for Dave Bronze, starting from now.
I'm ready.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
Should have asked him what his chosen subject was.
My chosen subject today, Dan, is knowledge of my hero, Steve Vai.
Very
I'm
good.
trying to channel the knowledge.
I like the
through
way
the
you've
guitar
positioned
right
your
now.
guitar.
I've got a
like
feeling
this.
you're going to know these really easily, but because
Okay.
of the stuff you were talking about before. But we'll see. Starting now, yeah.
Yeah, go for
All
it.
right. Number 1. Why was the Ibanez DNA gem called DNA?
So
tough one. Is it? Do I get just one chance to answer it?
Yeah, just one chance.
Is it because he donated some blood and they put it into the paint of the guitar?
Correct.
Oh, did I answer that too quickly?
No,
No,
that's
no,
all right.
it's cool.
Oh, okay.
Alright,
No,
cool.
that's if you don't get it by the time that runs out, you've failed miserably.
Alright.
Number 2.
Oh, they've got it right, James Manning got it
Yeah,
right.
there you
Good
go.
work, good work.
Number 2. So we all know Steve Vai has a glittering solo career, but can you name 4 projects that he was in as like a sideman, so just a guitar player?
Okay, easy. He played with Ravi Shankar.
That's not one I've got on
Oh!
Okay. He played with Public Image Limited with Johnny Lydon.
Dan, he's making you look daft.
David Lee Roth.
Right, that's on it.
White Snake.
That's on it.
Well, that's enough, isn't it? That's 4.
That is 4.
Oh, that's four,
Technically,
okay.
that's 4.
What other ones were there?
I've got
I feel like
Alcatraz
Alcatraz.
and Zappa.
Zappa, of course. Zappa. My goodness.
Okay. You'd go deeper than my question.
Yeah, sorry.
Alright, number 3. This is. You may or may not know this one. Right, what is the inspiration for the track Freak Show Excess? Oh.
I'm not playing the music because it's annoying.
Radio silence.
I
I got him!
Oh, we do need the
Oh,
countdown music.
Come on.
No.
I'm just going to play it from there.
Yeah.
See if there's any clues on
Ah,
that.
yeah, it's cheating.
What's the inspiration behind Freak Show Excess?
Inspiration,
Was it?
No, it's too late.
Oh,
Ah.
okay.
It's too-
Oh,
it's
dear.
too late, dude.
So what's that? 3 out of 5 so far.
2
No, 3 out of 4 so far.
Yeah, 2 out of 3 so far.
2
on
out
the
of
fourth
3.
question.
Alright.
The answer is Bulgarian wedding music,
Oh, okay.
which talks about on a YouTube video.
Go and burn your universe.
Sorry.
Right, number 4. Can you name? Now there's a couple of guys in here, but can you
I'm
name
sure you
all
can
the
see your
players
answers.
in
You're
the
flapping them
Breed?
around.
The Breed.
The Breed
alright.
band.
Okay.
Current lineup.
Well, I mean either
Ja-
one. I've got 2. I've got
Is
2
it
written down.
Jeremy Colson on drums?
Yeah.
Philip Bino on bass.
That's not what I've got on there, but
Billy Sheehan.
yeah.
Dave Weiner, of course. How can I forget? Who's the keys? Adrian Bellew. Oh, who's the keys guy? Who's the keys guy?
Can we give him a clue? Can we give him a
Guitar.
clue?
Yeah.
Yes, he plays keys and guitar.
But he's not Adrian Bellew, it's the other Zappa guy.
Oh,
No, it's not the Zappa guy. No, it's not. Let's
Who's
see.
it?
I'll tell you what's really funny is that Wilding's getting all of these right. Oh, he's not answering at the moment. He got the last one. He got the last one right.
Who was it? Who's the keys guy?
I've got.
Laurie Monk's got it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good work, guys.
I've
Good
got
work.
Mark Haley or Tony
Tom
McAlpine.
McAlpine.
Who were you thinking of the other Zappa guy?
Oh, Keneally.
Keneally.
Mike
That's
Keneally.
Well, he wasn't
Yeah,
his
yeah.
Mike Keneally.
I thought you had both of them written down.
I have.
Right.
It's
okay.
like, I mean, I was on
Mike
on the
Keneally,
Wikipedia,
man.
and it's like
we didn't
sort
say
of-
that either.
Is
a couple of different versions.
is
depending on
Tony McAlpine on this tour coming up?
Well, no, because I think Dave
No,
Weiner
I
does
think
all the
so.
keyboards.
Yeah,
now,
Dave
doesn't
Weiner
he?
was doing on
Does
the
the
previous
keys as
tour. He
well?
was doing all the keys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
Key boy.
doing
Either
all
that
kinds
or
of
there was
jobs.
some program stuff as well. But I don't remember Tony Mac. What was he? Might have been ill.
that. So what we're
Yeah,
saying?
he's been ill,
Should we
hasn't
say
he?
that's what a half point for that?
Yes.
Is it half?
It's half point.
Why?
business.
Why a half point?
Because he didn't get the last guy.
Oh no! You got to get them all. No,
All right,
you got to catch them all.
Hey, I hope it's a 5 question point
Oh,
question for this
there's a
guy.
minute. There is a tough one.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so
All right, last question. Yeah, I'm sure you get this. Quite an easy one to finish. What was the name of the album which sort of collected TV and film music from Steve Vai?
Film music.
Do you know this? You know this.
I know.
You told me yesterday.
No, the-
Oh, it's gone off my head.
Laurie Monk. P.S. I know nothing about Steve Vai.
Sights and Sounds, Volume 1.
Oh, you got it.
Light and Heat.
Lightning,
I don't know. I'm
Saying
not
5
even-
words randomly.
fire and ice.
No, that's Malmsteen. Oh, what?
Dave, the super fan.
What
Oh,
was that? What was
It's called
it?
the Elusive Light and Sound Volume
Oh.
1.
That's
Pretty much-
interesting. So Jason says Tony Mac is not in the band right now. Dave does it. Dave's Tech Jarrett plays guitar on a couple of tracks if there are holes. Wow, I didn't know that.
There we are.
Thanks for that, Jason.
Super inside
Trivia.
knowledge.
So what we're going 3? You're saying 3 out of
3 out
5?
of
I feel bad. I feel like bad. Not
So
just
I've
because
got-
Jason Wilding's like watching and he knew all the answers. I'm meant to be a super.
So 3 out of 5. So let's see how BB does. What's
So
your,
I've
what's your
got
chosen
okay, this is
subject?
exciting.
Well, Daniel, my chosen subject today is Guthrie Govan.
Yes.
Or Govan, if you remember the old days.
Govan.
Which is exactly what I am. The old guard.
All right, question 1. Which UK artist did Guthrie semi-recently play guitar for?
This is too easy.
Oh, I know this. Can I steal?
It's
Is
too
he
easy.
Rascal?
Correct.
Ah.
All right, do you want a tough one?
Give
Well,
us
No,
a-
no,
that's
give me
tough
an
one.
old. What?
It's
It's
Stephen
up to you, really.
Wilson. not-
What track did Guthrie win Guitarist of the Year with?
I
It's
know.
too easy.
I know.
A wonderful slippery thing.
Oh,
Damn, it's too easy.
All right. In the semi-popular YouTube video where Guthrie emulates different players, can you name 4?
Ooh, yeah.
That's also too easy.
So Robin Ford, Larry Carlton, Albert King, Hendrix.
I've not got Albert King written down,
He does do Albert King, I
but
thought.
maybe I missed the picture before because I was trying to listen to it before when you were stood here. I was like,
All right,
I
make
can
it
do
make
more,
it
though.
pick
well,
one
you can have
more.
it. You can have it. Right.
BB King.
Yeah, cool. All right.
It's too easy.
This is it. I think I can.
I know these questions are too
You
easy.
know what's
now.
really fun about this is he's going to do all 5 on the same countdown theme before it's got to the end. I've not double clicked
Man.
it.
How did Guthrie secure a job with Guitar Techniques magazine?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, yes, I do know this. Yeah, I do. know this.
Oh, okay. You might have me here. Well, he sent in a transcription of something, but if I've got to get what he's got to.
Yeah.
What is it?
Very glass moon.
No,
I don't know.
I thought it was the Black Page.
I was going to say that. But
I
that's
did a lot of Sean Lane transcriptions.
Oh, Sean Lane.
Black Page. You're thinking of Vise.
Yeah, I
I
know
did
about-
that for
yeah,
Zappa.
yeah, that's right. But I thought maybe he did it.
So
So
have I lost?
Well, no. That's
There's one more, and they both like
3 out.
they're all
Stefano.
Stefano.
It's easy.
look at Stefano's got it. Stefano Casilla. Well done, mate.
What's the name of Guthrie's fusion band?
I know this.
Oh, the Fellowship. Yes.
Oh,
I think you got a bum deal there, Bronze.
Oh, that's unfair. I could have answered all those.
Maybe I went a little bit deeper on yours because I thought he'll know these, and especially when you were talking about Passion and Warfare getting airbrushed.
The
Because of the
the
production
monkey
model.
grip getting airbrush.
Yeah, and you're right as well. It's
So
not
that's
there.
some deep fire knowledge.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
See you later, Jason.
See you, Jason.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Love to all apart from Bronze because he's got no socks on. That's because Bronze was up a mountain for 3.5 hours ago.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right, guys. So that's Dan's challenge.
So we'll probably bring it back when.
Yeah, me and
Yeah.
him will do. Me and Dan will do a 5 questions thing. So BB's the winner.
Well,
Woohoo!
yeah.
You win
What do
precisely
I win?
nothing.
Ah,
I'd like.
that's what I've always wanted.
You win beating Bronze. Okay, right, guys. We're going to move over to our main topic, which is not particularly planned because we hope that we have some stories to tell about this, but we shall see. So we'll see you then. I have no idea what's going on with our transitions today. They seem to be working to some extent anyway. So our main topic for today is obviously based around Mr. Vi himself. The deal basically is that, and I'm sure you guys are all the same, in some way Steve Vai has impacted all of our playing. In some cases, in all of our cases, pretty heavily. In some cases, monumentally. Bronze. Yeah, so we wanted to talk a little bit individually and just discuss with each other kind of, you know, our experiences with how we discovered the guy, what he did for our playing, and some of our kind of anecdotes and experiences. We've got a few kind of mementos here. Obviously, Dave's got his universe. Tell us about your universe, Dave.
So the Ibanez Universe I bought with a student loan in 1994.
94.
94.
Where did you get
Well,
it?
Passion and Warfare had only been out a few years then.
Yeah,
3 or 4
so
was it?
this was the last. Basically, I ordered one. I got a student loan, as you do. I ordered one, and I ordered the black and green one.
Right.
And
Okay,
the
yeah,
shop
yeah, yeah.
came back to me and said, basically, we can't find you one anywhere. The last one that we can find anywhere, because they stopped making them for a while. I don't know if you remember. There's a gap between them being made, and then Korn came out with the same thing.
Yeah, that's right, the
Yeah.
K7.
So I got the last one. He said, and do you mind? It's one of the multicoloured ones. Is that okay? It's like, That is okay. Yes, I will have that one and take it off. So here it is. Yeah, this is the thing. It's been signed by Steve Vai on the back.
Which shop was it from, Leslie?
I got it from Northern Drum Centre in Bradford.
Really?
All right.
So
I remember
Wow.
seeing one in
Wow.
Sounds Great in
Manchester.
Whitehill Green, Manchester
Oh,
Way,
yeah.
just on
Yeah.
the wall at the back, and I was like, what is that?
So this is my pride and joy guitar. I actually really rarely play it. I've used it on my album for some of the drop tune stuff, drop tune it to A. But yeah, so that's the story of this guitar.
Can you so leading in from there, tell us about your Vi.
So how I got into Vi? Basically, my first introduction into wanting to play guitar was I watched the Guitar Expo concert. Do you guys remember that? It was 1991,
Mhm.
October-ish,
I remember.
in
Yeah.
Seville, and I grew up near Seville, so there's a real connection to that whole stuff. And Satriani did Always With You, Always With Me, and the first time I'd ever seen tapping, I was just like, that's amazing. And Steve Vai came on and played For the Love of God. I was just like, whatever that guy is doing, I want a bit of that. And then after that, I heard Yankee Rose, the David Lee Roth, and Vai making his guitar talk, and then went out and bought Passion and Warfare.
So that's interesting straight away because you did it. You had the David Lee Roth album first,
Yes.
and then
Oh,
Passion
right.
and Warfare.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Passion and Warfare, yeah, it's just one of those albums I just listen to. I've got it on every format. I have it on vinyl, on cassette, on mini disc, people.
Mini
Wow.
disc.
And
What, they
on
released
CD.
it on
Oh, actually
minidisc?
bought
Yeah,
mini
I
disc.
have it on the mini disc. Yeah.
Whoa, that's
So I've got it on every format, and I've
What a waste of such great artwork.
I've had to buy the CD I think 3 times because I've broken two of the copies. But so
I've
yeah,
got it twice for some reason. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I've got it twice in CD.
But yeah, the whole thing pouring over the liner notes, just trying to transcribe. And the other thing is, I started learning guitar when I was 15, and when I was 16, I had to audition for the A-level music course. I'd only been playing guitar a year, and I transcribed For the Love of God by ear off the video. So I worked out the video version. Obviously, it wasn't 100% accurate, and got into college. So that was my introduction to music. So Vi, Passion and Warfare, this guitar, that whole thing was the start for me. So that's why I'm pretty grateful.
That's interesting.
that it came
Mine was
out.
kind of weird because my dad is some of you guys might know this if you've ever read any stuff on my website, but my dad is an amazing guitar player, a really ridiculous acoustic guitar player, plays sort of Tommy Emmanuel stuff. And I'd shown an interest and he bought me a guitar and then followed up very swiftly afterwards with, now you have this still, and I had a proper kind of reminiscing moment when I was going to ask Dave to bring this actually, but he because he was travelling from so far I couldn't. But the second Guitar Techniques magazine that ever came out with a CD, Steve Vai was one of the features in there. I'd never heard of the guy, and Dave Kilminster came on, and the first thing I heard in Dave's kind of voice that sounded like he'd just woken up was Steve Vai uses the Lydian mode, and he just ripped
that's it. Yeah.
up an E Lydian mode, you know. So you've got this sound. If I can actually find E on this guitar, where's that? So you hear that's not E, is it? Where's E on the guitar?
Hey, there.
That's a. That is don't ever give me a 7-string. Okay, so you heard this. That kind of E Lydian sound, and I was like, mind blown, and just immediately got totally addicted to it, and then went out and bought Passion and Warfare, and then my parents bought me this. Loads of you guys will recognise this.
Yeah.
This ridiculously fat book of craziness, and it even lists like all the gear he uses and stuff,
Yeah.
and all of the
What colour the guitars are.
yeah, all of the pictures of the are gone from this because they all got ripped out and put on my wall. That used to, man,
The CD comes with
those pictures are just
Yeah.
amazing.
doesn't it?
I had
So
some
cool.
cowboy boots just like those, by the way.
Yeah, well that doesn't surprise me.
We had the long hair and the
I
cowboy
mean, it's basically
boots,
it's the same guitar nearly. I mean,
yeah.
but yeah, just I learned, and you guys were probably the same. I learned every single note in this book, from front to cover. Whether I could play it up to speed or not, I learned every single note and was just obsessed. It's actually in pretty good condition still, all
Yeah,
things
it's
considered.
Mine's battered.
Can I tell you my Passion Warfare book story?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was getting into Steve Vai. I'm really embarrassed to admit this now. And we had a library where you could order any book, and so I ordered the book and stole it.
Oh, bronze! Oh my goodness.
Dave Bronze, you.
So I borrowed the book,
Oh.
and, yeah, nicked it, and I still have that book today.
Wow.
So Burnley Music Library.
Just
I
like you're going to get
I
a learn
apologise.
Learned the Bronze's dark
7,000
secret.
I
pounds worth of
apologise.
fees.
So yeah, because that book was really expensive at the time. It's like 25.
I can tell you how much
quid
it
or
was.
something.
It'd be on the back, wouldn't it? So it's $24.95, so it's probably about 25, 30 quid.
You know, which for me was like so. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I loaned it and never took it back. Sorry.
That's a better way of phrasing it, I guess.
Yes. Maybe I should take it.
Permanent loan.
You tea leaf.
It's now being signed by Steve Vai, so it's probably worth more.
Well, that'll pay your loan off then.
There you go.
Someone's just discovered you on Twitch and is like really excited. Oh, that's cool.
There you
Well,
go. Okay.
welcome, Mr. Rays.
So there you go. That's my story. It's not
Damn.
as cool as like people who stole guitars out of like.
Why are you looking at me when you said that?
No. So
I've
the
never stolen
BB
a
King
guitar.
stole his first guitar.
There's one about the guy from Motley Crue, I think. Is it Nicky Six or something?
Yeah.
Just stealing a bass.
Confessions of the
It's
Guitar.
like going in there with an empty case, just taking one off the wall, putting it in the case that it went in with, and just walking out. Nothing on the riser.
We're not giving you tips.
No. It's like-
Yeah. So.
No, I've never done this.
Anyway, your Steve Vai story.
My first,
You're weird.
one of my first albums that I physically bought with money from a job that I was doing, it's like glass collecting, was Fire Garden.
No, I'm just
And
laughing
it-
at Vi is now implicated in the crime.
Yeah, I got Fire Garden, which is a great album. And I was learning the Crying Machine at the time,
Oh yeah.
which is a fucking great tune.
Should
And
be on
then
there.
went back to I was like really into it. Went back to HMB and my local tiny little town. And the only other CD they had was Flexible Leftovers,
Oh,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is
A bit weird.
pretty
not- it's
weird.
not- it's not Passion
early on.
Warfare.
It's like it's like
Is that the
not
one
great,
where
but-
he has that girl talking and he doubles the spoken bit
yeah,
on
yeah,
guitars?
yeah. I mean, it's very clever, but it does grind on you after a bit. And it's the what's it called? Boobs.
What's that, man?
The rap one.
Oh, expletive yourself with a rubber hose. With a garden
Yourself.
hose or
The-
Yeah, there's some
Rubber
crazy
Holes.
stuff on there.
Yeah.
Little Green Men's pretty weird.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a strange album. But then Fire Gardens are kind of unusual. I guess it depends how we're a little bit older than you, I guess. Well, not that much older, but you know, Fire Garden
Well,
was
I
unusual
mean,
to start with.
I'm similar in that.
Yeah,
sense.
that's right.
I mean, I am catching Tom and Dave up. I guess it was my birthday yesterday, but I am my first Vi album. Well, Vi was a great one for me because I'd had other heroes before that. I'd had like Clapton and some of the blues
I've
guys,
never-
but
I went to I was just going and watched the Paul Gilbert video on
Mm.
VHS like every day
for
after
me-
school, and then got into
Right.
Vi after that. But
those were always introduced to me by someone else. Whereas Vi was so special to me because I kind of stumbled across it. I'd heard the name in the music department at school, and then I was again similar sort of thing to Dan. I was sort of walking through in Virgin Megastore with first cash of my own, and saw the hands over the face of Alien Love Secrets.
Oh, okay.
Giant
yeah.
hands.
And it was one of those records that I bought, not knowing really, only just having heard the name Steve Vai and seen it perhaps in a magazine. And so that was my introduction, and being this sort of timid 15-year-old that I was, or whatever, it was probably a good record for me because it introduced me to the incredible guitar playing and his writing, but less of the craziness. I mean, there's still some weird stuff on there,
Yeah.
but it kind of eased me in gently, so to speak. And then I got Fire Garden, and Fire Garden completely, even more so, I think, maybe this is heresy, but for me, even more so than Passion and Warfare, really informed me at my early years of being a guitar player. And in the same way as how Tom had learnt, that note for note, the Fire Garden thing for me was
That was the one that you learned for now.
yeah.
Good
think
guys.
that-
I'm just going to nip out a second and come back.
I think the thing with Passion and Warfare though is that there's really not been anything like it before.
No, I mean
Like
it's
when
quite often
there
cited
were,
as the
there were
greatest.
guitar albums out, but there's like the Shrapnel stuff, and lots of really shreddy stuff. But like the
That
Passion
kind
and
of stuff
Warfare
is a bit
thing
more
was just-
aggressive and like
I went and backfilled after that, of course. I mean, and so going then and getting Passion and Warfare. It wasn't like ages later. It was only perhaps not even a year later after those two records when I got, and then I fell in love with that. But those mid '90s when I was just coming sort of into like playing the guitar was super special. And then Passion and Warfare has more of a slight puberty kind of like later mid-teens memories attached to it, and some of those, and the same way I played for Love of God as an audition thing for something.
Yeah.
And it's a phenomenal album.
I got given like 3 or 4 boxes of old guitar magazines from like the 90s and stuff from a friend that lived across the road, and it was her older brother that just didn't play anymore. He'd moved out, and so these boxes of like Guitar World and like fucking stacks of them. And obviously that period it's just like Vine and Satch and stuff in every magazine. It's like, this is fucking great, It's like flick through and look at all these old tunes and stuff like that. But I also, one of them was they had Eugene's Trick Bag in that. Really.
Oh wow!
And I was just like, this is great.
So I'm going to play it now.
Well, my sort of love of Vi culminated, I guess, in this memento souvenir. I guess, in that when I was my 18th birthday, I'd pined for 3 years, like I've got to have a gem, and then this was my 18th birthday present, and then this was probably in the 90s, his most iconic.
Man,
iconic.
Everybody wanted that.
Yeah,
I used to go down to A1 in Manchester and just stare at it on the wall going.
And I guess even now we're still. I mean, Evo is still one of the original. To some extent, is still one of the original white 7 VWHs. But sadly, what happened? This guitar is a 2000 model, and it still has the ebony. Back when using ebony boards, and it's pretty much immaculate because very sadly I took this off to jazz college with me. I naively took this to do a jazz and contemporary music degree, and I remember, I can laugh about it now, but I was devastated at the time where kind of you're socialising and you're meeting and greeting people, and and someone asked me, so what guitar do you play? And I enthusiastically said, I've got an Ibanez Gem. And the guy burst out laughing in my face.
Before they're all just there with that big arch tops.
Yeah,
and stuff
like
that.
big 175s and like super serious guitars. And then it was like, I went back to my house and put it in the case. And then it wasn't played for over 10 years. Sat with my parents. So it's pretty much an immaculate 2000 model.
It's important to keep these guitars though, because I had a Red Crackle Charvel.
Right.
Like the proper
Nice.
80s thing, and it wasn't a great sounding guitar, and I sold it for a couple £100, and I feel sad about that now. It's gone.
Yeah, my old teacher used to have the gem that's like, it's almost that colour, like the Big Sky colour, but a bit bluer. It's got like a sparkle in it. They didn't make a lot of them. And,
the 7VSBL or something?
Yeah. So he ended up. the old teacher had a. Actually, it's more this kind of ego colour, but a little bit lighter.
I know what you mean.
Kind of blue colour.
And it had a blue Tree of Life.
Yeah.
Which one is this?
It's one that my old teacher used to have.
It's not the one with the
SBL.
floral, the blue floral.
No.
Oh, a different one, because that one.
It was a 2000s model.
Yeah. They didn't. I don't think there's a lot. There's only like 4 or 5 in the country or something, but he ended up trading it in with like a lot of other stuff to. I can't remember what he bought in the end. I bought like a Soldano or something, but.
So what impact has Vi had on you musically? I suppose for me it's really obvious because a lot of my stuff still sounds very like Steve Vai.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Because you don't sound like Steve Vai even like.
No,
I would have never guessed that you were in Steve Vai from listening to you.
But if you look at the impact of it, it was basically taking the technical approach and the song. Not for me, not the songwriting approach the same way you do it, but just the idea that guitar could be a voice in that kind of more technical kind of sense, and also his writing just was he inspired me to be a musician in a way. There were lots of other people who did as well, but he was one of the first. Him and John Petrucci really inspired me to play guitar for a living.
Yeah.
Well, it moves guitar from being like stood behind a singer to being this forefront like lead.
Yeah,
vocals.
This is the voice.
Because if you think about a lot of the previous guitar eras, Hendrix and all the blues guys, B.B. King, it would be a kind of usually, and even guys like Gary Moore, it would be a vocal number
It's interspersed. It's
with
like
amazing
solo.
guitar solos.
Yeah, Malmsteen's the same.
Malmsteen's the same, yeah. Whereas
Yeah.
Vi speaks entirely. Although he obviously, we were all a bit shocked when Firegarden came out, and we'd heard him sing a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, or even Sex and Religion at the end with Now My Brain has failed. Rescue Me or Bury Me, and he sang on
yeah.
that. That was really good.
Yeah.
Bloody
Yeah.
hell.
But it was all about the guitar playing.
Yeah.
So
All
good.
about the guitar playing. You know.
No, for me, it's the same. I think, like we were joking before, like that I don't hardly know any Violix compared to you, say. But I think for me, what inspired me was just that thing of like writing music that transports you, takes you on a journey, and sort of then my thing was like I want to find my ways of composing and pulling those influences in. 'Cause
Yeah, I mean-
when they'll discuss Little Wayne.
my playing, I guess, I don't really. I mean, I still have some things in the bag, like,
Like me, yeah, I do.
but I don't really. I love it, and I love breaking it out to play, but it's not what I'm these days. What I'm like massively focused on.
Steve Ozone, he's at it
Here
again.
we go. Yeah.
I thought Steve Vai singing sounded like a ferret forced through a mangle.
A Magel.
Okay, yeah. So someone's asking your favourite voice solo.
Okay, this is important. For me, Rescue Me or Bury Me, and that's a weird choice, but it is so unbelievably epic. And it was one of the first times there was the tapping. That line, I can't remember what the notes were, but
What's the one that I think on the Firegarden tour he has like a little solo spot?
yeah, I know
And
what
he
you
plays
mean.
like he plays like the same solo. It's like it's kind of almost like a composed.
I
kind
know
of
what you
thing.
mean.
You know what I mean? It's the same kind of licks. They
Isn't
start
it
moving
in,
around,
it's
getting
not in
feedback.
answers, is it?
Which I'm not
There's
sure.
a break in the middle of it.
It's
I
just
can't
like
remember.
everyone just pisses off. He's just on his own.
It might be in
Fine.
answers.
On the
That's
Firegarden like tour, like I've seen
Ah,
the
yeah,
video.
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's-
yeah. So it's between Answers and Love of God.
So yeah, I thought
Right.
it was
Yeah.
because I remember it coming after.
Yeah. That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
That
Which you were
is
playing earlier on.
super epic. Yeah. That. For
Wow.
me, it'd have to be, I think, Tender Surrender.
Yeah, that makes sense
That
for you.
that was the one that I learned that absolutely note for note,
Nice work, Stacey
Um,
Douglas.
and it's so special. In fact, I think I saw Vi on my 15th birthday live for the first time, and it was one of those experiences where a piece of music made me cry for the first time.
Yeah.
Like it just so watching him
It's
live.
getting bro-emotional.
Yeah, performing Tender Surrender, it was that sort of thing where like, music can do this just without singing or words. Just this guy making this noise with this instrument. It's like meltdown, like with my emotions, and it was like I went home from that gig at 15 thinking I either stop playing guitar now or I have to learn to do that. And it was so. I think maybe what you said about the motivational thing is like it kind of learning that stuff and sort of getting really deep with the the writing and the what he was doing technically and theoretically. It kind of helped and inspired, like, I guess, all other aspects of how I approach music now to some extent, giving you that sort of ability to focus. For I mean, even though I'm focusing on very, very different things these days, back when I was doing, Firegarden, Tender Surrender and Love of God, I would just I had that ability to just say, okay, I'm going to take this bar and I'm going to slow it down.
Oh, I was never that good.
And I would work out the rhythms. So I'd take down, and it didn't matter so much whether it was the tab was correct, the transcription was correct, but I liked the idea of taking that rhythm and learning to read that rhythm,
Right.
whether it's actually what he played or not. But like trying to learn like nested polyrhythms and trying to fit exactly 7 notes into, in the legato stuff. That gave me that ability to then really focus on something for a long, long period of time.
That's interesting. It shows me that I kind of I could play a lot of that album, but like when you come to For the Love of God and it comes to the bit that was up around the 16th fret,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
just
yeah.
nuts. I always fudged it because I couldn't
Oh yeah,
couldn't
no,
be
I
asked.
couldn't be bothered. Yeah.
Well, I could. I mean, I was obsessed about getting it right.
No, I never did.
Yeah.
No,
That's interesting.
I
Probably too much.
don't
but-
know how to play hardly anything with Steve Vai, note for note. My favourite solo is Touching Tongues off Sex and Religion.
Oh yes, good
It's
choice.
my favourite
Yeah.
song. The one that really transported me is Blue Powder. Like
Someone
Blue
else
Powder,
mentioned that
like,
earlier on. Blue
Yeah,
Powder.
yeah,
Yeah.
Blue
yeah.
Powder.
Blue
is
Powder is there's some
super good.
very interesting
The
jazz
form of
harmony
the-
going on.
and the form of the song's really interesting. The way it goes from one.
Poor dog's desperate to get in.
Is it?
We can't let her in because she'll
Sprout.
destroy that. Yeah. My dog's
So-
desperate to get in. She's whining, and she's gonna. If she comes in, she will just destroy everything. The stream will just go down big time.
Thanks, Andrew.
There's a BB fan in the house.
Really? Kazumi Watanabe was on the same flexible disc from Guitar Player. That's really interesting. Kazumi Watanabe, if you guys have never heard him, Laurie Monk's just mentioned him on the YouTube stream, so for the Twitch guys you won't have seen that. Kazumi Watanabe, if you ever want to hear an unbelievable guitar solo, there's a Steps Ahead album called Smoking in the Pit, I think it's called. Check out his solo on Not Ethiopia on that. My word, it's ridiculous.
Is he a jazz guy or?
Yeah, basically he's a jazz guy, yeah.
I need to check this out.
But I'm presuming he can play all that stuff. Somebody's typing with their foot.
Oops, sorry.
So, do we have anything else we'd like to say on Vi? or are we-
Is there anything in relation to the gig coming up that we need to say again, or have we covered that?
I think we covered it. I mean, obviously, if you've got the opportunity, there's still tickets available for most of the gigs. Actually, if you've got the opportunity to go and see him, because this is a one-off. You know, you've probably seen Steve Vai before, but this is the only time they'll be touring this 25th anniversary Passion and Warfare, and he is playing the album from start to finish.
Oh man.
Did you not know that?
Yeah, I did, but you
Did
just
you know
reminded
that,
me.
Dave?
Yeah, it's just made my hair stand on it.
There
Just
you go.
saying it.
So you're getting. I guess it starts with Liberty, and it's going right the way through. Oh, that would be ace, wouldn't it? Let's not do that. Okay, yeah. So, and also what I've heard as well. Oh no, I shouldn't give spoilers actually, because if you guys are going to see and you don't want to know, I'm talking about guys on the stream as well. I shouldn't give too many spoilers because I saw the set list for the gig and there's some cool stuff that happens as well. So,
Oh, come on.
Spoil it now.
yes, it's quite a long gig as well apparently. So this is all good.
I'm picking Shy Boy, by the way, just because the whole song is that one big song.
Oh, yeah, sorry you didn't pick a tune, did you?
Well, just I think I'm just going to go
That is
Shy
a
Boy,
good
just
solo.
because it's like just all the little.
How does the solo for Shy Boy go again? It's got
the
like
whole
a really
thing
weird...
is like a solo.
Yeah, it's got that kind of that thing. All that kind of stuff.
It's that, isn't it? Well, it's not the suite, but that's the Steve Vai suite. Okay,
Yeah.
so that pretty much covers our Vi section, I guess.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
a nice
the
trip
PRS
down memory
one.
lane there.
Yes. Expo 92.
I feel that you need to explain that, Dan.
Rinse for repeat. No, it's not a PRS hollow body. It is indeed a Fibonacci.
Yeah, so for
I mean,
anybody
it
who's on
looks similar.
YouTube, Rinse for Repeat asked on Twitch whether this was a PRS hollow body.
No,
It's not.
Fibonacci basic jazz hollow body.
Because he wasn't brave enough to bring his gem. Or his scallop.
Actually,
He's like me, he
Listen
hasn't
to
got a
this.
gem.
Bitches.
Couldn't resist. Someone just said juice.
Don't, because he'll play the whole thing.
Sorry.
It's I've got like a sort of silver-ish, like silver green. I think it was called silver green RG that I got when I was like 16, and it's got Tone Zone and an Air Norton in it, and it's like half luminous green and black and half luminous pink and black.
Well,
Because I just wanted to be Paul Gilbert when I was 16.
well, you should have brought it. That's,
See,
Got no one to blame but yourself.
I
that's
know.
it.
Me too, Steve.
You've let yourself down.
Me too.
Yeah, Juice is
Down.
amazing.
Down
Juice
the
is
guitar.
amazing. All right,
You didn't get
guys.
the questions right, Dave.
Oh,
yourself
yeah, what
out.
you
So we're going to
mean?
move to our hands-on section. Then we got. Oh, by the way, I should have been saying all along. BB's posted it once or twice. The backing track poll here. Where is it? There. Can we paste that one more time
Do it
into the
again,
chat?
yeah. So if you can go and vote on our for which backing track you want us to play over.
We've got 5 different backing tracks. You can choose which one. You can vote there. The one with the most votes.
Yeah, it's on there.
Why is it posted all the way over
I
there?
think it's because my foot was typing.
Oh, the one with the
space
most
bar.
votes we will play over. Are you going to miss your Sustainiac tonight, Dave?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we'll move to our hands-on section. Yayo Gak. I used to hate that song. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play a tune now. I'm going to play one of my tunes. We're then going to do the poll jam or do the question. I always forget the order of
we
this.
do dictionary
jam.
corner.
Dictionary corner.
Oh,
Dictionary corner.
I know what. Yes, it is written on my my notes for the show. This track is Veet Feet. Thank you for joining the stream. Thank you for following. This track is a Latin track. There's a couple of interesting things about this track. The first is, and what's the word you always use?
what?
Always make like when we make excuses for things.
Oh, disclaimers.
Disclaimers.
Yeah, putting the disclaimers
Yeah,
in.
get the disclaimers.
I'm playing a 7-string. All right, that's my big genuine disclaimer. This could go horribly wrong, but it'll be very funny if it does go wrong, and I don't mind too much. So the cool thing about this track is in like the first chord is B7 sharp 9. I'll believe that to be. I'm not so
Yeah.
stupid, I can figure that out. But I've got the low B, I probably won't use it though. And then the only other thing, when are you going to release the album, Tom? When it's finished. You couldn't pass me that thing down there, could you? The U-Rock. There's a keyboard solo on this album, on this track, which was played by me on this, the U-Rock guitar. So that's quite fun. So the whole thing was played, I think, using
Guitar Hero for grown-ups.
a synth. I can't remember what the synth's called, but it was played on this, all left hand, because you can't really use the right hand on it. So that's kind of fun. So check that out.
And we were trying to play the bass line last night.
Yeah, these guys
at
are trying to.
2 in
The
morning.
bass line for this song goes like this. And trying to get these two to play it while they were pissed last night was hilarious.
That's pretty funny. I'm going to listen through the door and I'm still a little bit.
You're going to listen to the. BB hates this song.
no, I'm just
Can't leave the room.
I'm a little bit worse for wear, I'm afraid. Sorry.
He's going to go and throw up, and then he's going to come back.
I'm not going to vomit. No,
Alright.
I'm just. It's just everything's just
Don't
going
go
straight.
into
I'll tell you what,
details. Just get out.
I
of
won't
it,
go and
baby.
vomit there now. If I...
Oh, you are.
Oh no!
Oh, sorry.
It's alright, it's fine. She'll probably calm down in a minute. This could be quite amusing. The dog could vastly distract me here. So, we'll see what happens. Here's that bass line. That's Anton Davidians playing bass. Oh, cheers, baby. stopped playing. It's crashed. Hold on, guys.
that on a 7-string, like I'd be so scared.
That was quite difficult
Is it-
playing,
it's
like
really
improvising a
difficult.
solo on that on 7-string was
I'm
quite
like a
hairy.
one guitar guy. I just play the one guitar and just get used to that. And then when I go to another guitar, it feels like
So
I find that really difficult.
If you've never tried going from 6-string to 7-string and trying to improvise, not play something that you obviously the melodies and stuff are fine because you know it's all written out, but all the solos and stuff and everything else is improvised. Trying to visualize, because I rely so heavily on the visual element of the guitar when I play and improvise over changes. What have you done?
No, not me, nothing. I was
What's
just reading the chat, that's all.
Oh.
Sorry, that's sounding great to everyone.
Yeah, so trying to visualize when this is a low B instead of being a low E is really, really difficult. And there are a few times you get down through a run and you're visualizing this as being an E instead of a B.
Yeah.
And it's a real problem. So, yes, I hope that was okay for you.
Great.
You know, the album hopefully will be done fairly soon. Like it, John Petrucci at a salsa club. Oh, guys, you guys are amazing. It's so funny.
The chat's amazing.
Steve Ozone's at it again. Tender rear ender. Oh dear.
Oh.
Trust me, going from 7 to 6 is harder. I can imagine actually going from 7 to 6 is much harder. All right, guys. So hopefully you've been voting in our backing track poll.
Dictionary
Dictionary
corner.
corner.
Oh yeah, I always forget about this because it's new.
It's the new.
New for season 2 is Dictionary Corner. Dan, I'm going to move to Dictionary Corner. Tell us about the word. Basically, tell us what Dictionary Corner is first.
Dictionary corner is just dumb words that we've, well, mainly me, have kind of
Yeah.
come up with along the way and the sort of journey of this friendship between the gents in the room. So last week was Hollywood shit, which seemed to cause a small stir, which was just like flashy guitar playing, so it's like Hollywood shit. So this week we're going with, have you got the thing? This week we're going with procrastination.
Okay, let me show it.
So procrastination.
Yeah.
So it's the act of doing literally anything except guitar playing when you should be practicing. So like you sit there, you should be practicing, but you'll end up like, oh, I'll just make some toast. I'm just gonna put some
Make
water
some
in it, you know.
toast.
Just like anything, any
Netflix
any
is usually
distraction.
the
yeah,
main.
exactly.
The main
Just off my trophy.
Netflix and chill
Yeah.
is usually the main
Oh,
contender.
Dave's in there whittling spoons instead of practicing.
But this is so basically procrastination. That we, Dan's amazing at these kind of puns. By the way, if you wonder what the weird looking thing underneath it to the right is, apparently that's how you phonetically spell procrastination, but we've just put the axe in. So
Yeah.
that's what that is.
Stuck the axe in.
It's not the same word in Klingon, in case you were wondering.
It's phonetic.
It's
spell,
definitely
yeah.
not a real word. These words are all made up. Someone
So-
asks, what is that a real word?
No,
Guilty
of course it's not a
procrastination.
real word. Yeah, it's not a real word, but it should be, and now it is. It is now.
Yeah, it's a word.
Don't
Right.
procrastinate.
Yeah,
Don't
procrastination is a real word, so it's just a version, a variant on that involving guitar. So we thought you'd like that. All right, guys. So let's see what you guys have been doing backing track poll wise. Where did I put this? I'm pretty sure I saved it. Did I?
I'm typing my feet again.
What did I do with it? I don't know what I did with it. Right, I'm gonna have to type it in. So bear with me a second, guys. So it is. What is it? www.straw. There it is. Okay, what have you guys chosen? The Vice style track,
Amazing.
which will please Dave immensely.
Or maybe not.
No, this is not going to please me at all. Okay,
Elydian.
so we should have a competition for Vilex here.
Oh, I've
Oh no.
got zero.
You picked it, Dave.
Did I?
Yes.
Don't say, oh no, where you got a Vi t-shirt on and that guitar.
No, but I don't know like many violets. Well, we'll find
I
out.
think it tells you what the chords are
Are
here.
they right?
No. They're definitely not right.
Procrastinate.
Okay, guys, I want to tell you about this YouTube channel. I think we used it last week actually as well, but
Yeah.
it's one that you can go to. I can't read that; my eyesight's not good enough. The guy's name is Vito Astone. Let me type it into the chat.
Yeah.
Astone.
Get on YouTube, check out this guy's backing tracks. They're pretty good actually. Is that spelt right? Can you see that, Dan?
What am I looking at?
In the bottom window of the chat, does that look the same as what's on the channel name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright guys, type that into YouTube and you'll find his channel. It's got loads of really cool backing tracks on there. This is going to be interesting. Okay,
Just hit me.
who's going first? Dave has to go
Dave's going
first,
first.
surely.
Okay.
Dave picked it last.
See what happens.
Dave picked it last week and I forgot to put it on the poll. So
Oh,
sorry,
really?
Dave. Oh, you didn't realise. All right, ready?
Okay, let's see what happens. So it's got the chords, yeah? We don't even
Yeah,
know the
ignore
keys.
those.
Okay,
Ignore
we
those.
don't know the key.
They're wrong.
I need to sort it out.
damn hard on the 7 string. Right, Dan.
Uh-oh.
Let's do Dan again. Here we go, Dan. Trade. Trading, people.
Right.
Right, last one, guys.
Dave, go first.
Trading them. Wow. I'm a bit sweaty after that.
Well, I'm sorry, I
Nice.
was getting up. Yeah.
Okay.
Fun.
Hope you enjoyed that, guys.
The weird thing is, I end
You've
up
got
feeling
an-
really uncomfortable on those kind of tracks.
Yeah,
Me
yeah,
too. Gee, wow.
Yeah. It's
Big
not my
time.
thing anymore. it's like.
Well, I was desperately trying to remember all the violets I know, and I
Yeah.
couldn't remember any. I remembered the tapping one, and then the. Okay. Right, guys. So we better move swiftly
Question time, is it?
into our questions because otherwise
Yes.
we're going to run so far over time. So we've got a series of questions here that you guys have been giving us on Facebook. I'll read these out. You guys can kind of help with the answers or give us the answers. So we'll start straight away. So Fabian, I should say actually. Hey guys, here might be a question for the next show if it hasn't already been asked. What headphones or mics can you suggest when recording in a studio? It would be so helpful for me and for many others too. Anyways, keep up the show. I love watching it. Keep it up, my friends. I'm actually going to show you these because I know that Mr. Bronze uses these as well.
Yeah, I do.
Headphones. This is now we're talking about.
Headphones.
So these are KRK. There's a few of these. These are the KNS 8400s
Yeah.
or 8400s. They're not that cheap. If you've been buying like cheap ass Skull Candy headphones your entire life, you'll think these are ridiculously expensive. In actual fact, I'm going to show you, Dave. Now they're a bit cheaper now, aren't they?
Yeah, I can't remember, but they, in the quality range, they are really good value for money.
The other thing is they're really flat sounding. They don't do that hi-fi flattering thing with loads of bass and loads of top end. You can actually mix on these headphones as
Yeah,
well.
they're really good. I love them.
But for tracking stuff, the other thing is they've got memory foam here. Here, what are they called?
Padding.
Padding?
Yeah.
Here, padding.
Yeah.
They're really comfortable to wear. There's memory foam up here as well on the top section. Nice strong cord as well that you can unplug, which is good because it obviously means when you're transporting them, that's quite good.
You've got to wear that outfit.
Hilarious.
As
Uh,
far as
sorry,
shoeless.
one more recommendation actually for headphones, if you've not quite got to that budget, is that the sort of industry standard for sort of cheap headphones is the Sony MDR 7556s, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe we could write those two in the
Yeah,
chat. So I'll,
they're about £80 or
I
something.
think
but-
those do 120.
they used to be a lot more, so they were a
they
bargain.
used to
So
be
we've got-
almost 200.
So
I
what's the
paid
model
about
of those? KRK.
KRK 8400.
KNS.
KNS dash.
KNS 8400.
And then the Sony MDR, I think it's 75.
That's fine, it'll do.
56 or something like that.
Okay. As far as mics go, obviously the classic. I'll just pull mine out here, seeing as it's already here. This is the really obvious choice. I've got two down here. One is very affordable, the SM57.
Yeah.
Very
See that
affordable, very
everywhere.
cool. You might find if you play for clean tones and for very high gain but smooth. That was the stool, by the way. For very high gain, smooth sounds, this is probably going to be a little bit kind of harsh. So
Like snare drums and things, don't they?
it's often paired with a condenser or a ribbon mic. The one I use, which this
the
is
lightsaber
not
one?
necessarily.
This is
Just
amazing.
hold that sec. This
Just
is
the
not
lightsaber one.
necessarily a recommendation for guys who are looking for a cheap mic, but this is a Roya R121. Let me get that a little bit closer. If you can rent one of these,
It's a ribbon mic.
it's a ribbon mic. Yeah, this basically is a £1,000 worth of ribbon mic. You don't have to spend that much. SE Electronics make a thing called the VR1, or it's the Voodoo range, the VR1 and the VR2. If you check out Pete Thorne on YouTube, check out his demo of those. He uses those on his recordings and they sound great. They're about a third of the price of this.
Yeah. There's another classic combo for recording rock, guys. That's the SM57 and the Sennheiser MD421.
Yeah.
The MD421 adds like a really nice mid-range and bottom end. So the combination, you get the aggression, the bite from the SM57 and the round sound from the Sennheiser MD421.
So I should have explained this in the same way Dave just did. The reason you use the ribbon mic is because the high end is rolled off in a very smooth, pleasing way.
Yeah.
If you just recorded one of these, it's usually a little bit too much high end roll off.
Sounds very old school. doesn't it,
Yeah,
when you do that?
because it's a
Are
very
they
old
used for
style
anything?
technology. But if you use it
Ribbon
with the
mics,
SM57, it's a fantastic combination.
Not really.
Not on their own, they usually use as a.
What's that?
So are they
These.
ribbon mics used?
You can use it on its
traditionally
own
as
for
anything on its
jazz. For jazz stuff, it's great, really
Right.
good. if you stick this in front of like an old Fender Deluxe or something, just
Yeah,
in front of one of the
sounds quite
speakers, it
smooth.
sounds really nice because it's nice and smooth. But generally, you'd be a little bit disappointed if you try and record with just one of these for like a rock guitar tone or some kind of
Yeah.
lead tone. But yeah, there's loads of, like, if you just start looking online, you'll find ribbon mics. Generally these days, anything made in the Far East these days for virtually no money is pretty good, to be honest. Like guitars these days, you know, it's all good stuff. Anyway, spent far too long on the first question. Thank you, Fabian. Ian Creighton, how do you guys enjoy teaching one-on-one? We have to keep these answers short, guys. Sorry, I went far too long there. How do you guys enjoy teaching one-on-one, and what do you think the essential skills are for those looking to get into it? Well, you guys do more of this than I do, so.
Yeah, I mean, I love it and hate it. It's like a love-hate thing. I think there are experiences, like any job, I guess you have your ups and downs and things, but I mean, I really enjoy...
Sorry.
Yeah, essential skills for getting into it. Depends on exactly the kind of one-on-one you're talking. I mean, if you want to go into doing sort of school-type work, I guess it's good to have some kind of qualifications. If you just want to do one-on-one private lessons or Skype lessons, I guess you don't need that so much.
Just don't be weird. Just be like, you know, reasonable with people. Be a nice person to be around.
I mean, I love when you can explain the concept to somebody and seeing the light bulb go on, and that
See
is
the lights light up, eyes light up.
such a rewarding experience. Yeah.
I've written a blog on my website. If you go on davebronze.com, there's a blog about 10 tips for getting into guitar teaching.
Cool.
Just really practical stuff. So rather than go on about it here, you can just pick that up. But it's all.
I'd say you've got maybe 3 or 4 options now. Is one-to-one, like in your house in person, maybe one-to-one on Skype, maybe teaching for like a music service where they will put you in schools, like primary schools, high schools, whatever, and then maybe teaching through like the Yamaha thing that you used to do and like I used to do, like an academy. That's kind of your 4.
So if we were to pick some skills,
I'd say first thing to do is teach some of your mates. Just find somebody who wants to let them practice on somebody, and then
Just try and show your sister or your housemate or just anyone. Just like,
or anyone, or ring round your mates, see if they've got any kids who want to learn guitar, and just start there. Just take one student on, hone your skills, and then go.
that's
for
a
it.
really good idea. That's a
I
great
don't think
idea.
you've ever stopped. I think one of the really nice things about teaching, sorry, I know we're going on, but it's how you end up learning more about your own playing and how you understand things. It reinforces and perhaps what you already know, and can give you a new light on things that you.
or you
already
change
know.
what your method was like, 10 years in or something like that. Like, I remember you said what
Yeah.
teaching change you play now. It's like you're doing a different thing to what you previously did.
Yeah, I think he's just talking about getting into it, so it's a different thing. But that's great, thanks guys. So I'm going to murder this name, Nagy Balats, I guess. Sorry if I've murdered that, which I definitely have. Regarding teaching one-on-one, this is for me, okay. Tom, how do you cope with the perfect fourth tuning issue? Whenever a guitarist with standard tuning is with you one-on-one, how do you manage this? It will be interesting to hear your thoughts. I heard Alex Hutchins saying on a clinic that he simply quit teaching when he changed to perfect fourths. If I'm doing one-on-one, I teach in my tuning, unless it causes major issues, because in order for me to demonstrate things, I have to be into perfect fourths. It's never really been an issue, because I can show people things in standard tuning. I certainly haven't quit teaching because of it. Yeah, it's never really been a massive problem.
I think the level as well that you're likely to teach.
this
You're not
is it.
teaching
I'm
people
not
to
te-
play a D
well-
from nothing, are you?
Okay, so let me add this to the equation. When I used to work for Yamaha, teaching full time at Yamaha music schools, I found it very, very difficult because I had to teach in standard tuning, and my playing went through the floor. It just was terrible, which is why one of the reasons I stopped doing it. So in that respect, because I was teaching reading as well to kids and adults, teaching like basic notation reading, and so this to me is an F, whereas for them it's an E, and that just it's like being guitar schizophrenia on guitar. It's horrible. So yeah, in that respect, it doesn't work. But one-on-one, it's fine, no problem at all. Okay, Dayan Angelov, do I do Skype lessons anymore? One-to-one, how much is it? I'm afraid I don't anymore. No, I've got 1 or 2 historical Skype students who I still teach every now and again, but I just don't do it anymore, I'm afraid, guys. So sorry about that. Joshua S. Helm, this is an interesting question. How important is theory in everyday practice? I'm sure you have different views on that.
Yeah.
Anyone want to open up?
I think it depends if you mean like, right, I'm going to practice this for an hour and then I'm going to go look up some theory and try and learn that. But I think it's if you just try and whatever it is that you're practicing, try and know it inside out. So it's not just fingers on a bit of wood. It's like you're thinking about it as in as much a musical way as possible.
I think it's massively, massively dependent on what you're practicing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're practicing technique, it's of
Like
no
for,
relevance at all.
for instance, if you're like practicing scales or learning a new scale, I would say it's from the method at this stage is it's massively important of like going through it and naming each note as an interval and like rather than just
absolutely
switching that bit off and then just try and learn a load of patterns.
I would say again, it's dependent on what you're practicing.
If
So
your everyday practice is like my everyday practice is like doing technique and running through up strings things, then maybe it's not so much. But if your everyday practice is doing hardcore changes or something, maybe it would be more important. Or not.
Certainly don't make it a focus if it doesn't need to be. I mean, don't go, oh my god, everything I do I've got to think about the theory. Theory is something that's only relevant when it. I know this sounds really obvious, but it's only relevant when it's relevant. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Try and be as educated and as informed as you can, but don't
it's not.
you know,
Don't let it rule.
don't let it
It's-
cripple you.
You don't need to. You don't need to practice theory every day at all. Theory is really something that's understood as well, rather than you do practice it, but it's more a thing that's understood, and then the application is the thing that you would practice. Okay, so oh my word, what you guys have got names that I can't pronounce. Harry Keomhanach, maybe
Good effort.
it's a good effort.
Good try, yeah.
Self-motivation when it comes to everyday practice, question mark. Setting goals to get the most effective outcome from practice. Whoa, I find this hard. I find this hard, self-motivation when it comes to everyday practice. What I'll tell you is, and don't follow this, I don't really practice as much as I should anymore. I play a lot. And then when I'm going to do, the way I remain self-motivated, which I know is very similar to you, is I get obsessed with a certain tune or a certain harmonic scenario, and then I try and get better at playing over it, or I'll have a certain harmonic idea. Like recently I've been learning these things. I can't play anymore. And those kind of lines, but trying to get better at kind of seeing them and playing them, and that motivates me. But you know, it's different for everybody. What do you do, Dave?
I don't know. I have two different ways to practice. I have because I've got two kids. I have like a little short thing, like a technical thing that I'll work on, like time field playing triplets that I'll do, and it's a block, and I just set the timer and do it for 10 minutes in the morning. But then a lot of my practice is more around composition. I know I feel like I keep saying the same things, but
That's fine. It means it's right.
if I'm trying to execute a compositional idea that I don't have the technique for, then I might work on that. But I'm also not a great practicer. I go through seasons of practicing really hard and then not doing anything. So I'm like everybody really.
I'm
Anything?
absolutely terrible at practicing.
Okay.
It's worse because I'm working quite a lot and it's music related, and there is a part of your brain, I don't think like this, but there's a part of your brain that goes, you're working now, you've got the gig, what you sat on, you know, practicing augmented scale stuff that you're never going to use for. Do you know what I mean? That shit's great, but it's right now it's kind of like similar kind of thing. If there's something I need to do for the gig, I'm more likely to do it because I can use it then and there.
Yeah, although I think there's real power in setting yourself target like a gigs, I think that's what he's talking about. Where you have a goal, like so I've got to learn Dave Bainbridge's stuff for going back out on tour again. Like I am gonna have to sit down and get my chops together for that.
It's having a deadline, isn't it?
And so if you don't have a situation like that, then the best
Invent
thing I
one.
can say is come up with one. Do a gig for your mate, for your peers. Go do a live streaming thing like BB does.
Tim Miller has an interesting idea. The guitarist Tim Miller. He does what he calls virtual gigs all the time, where he basically I think he videos them. I'm not sure. You could even these days, because of the way Facebook is going these days, you could live stream yourself.
Yeah.
I do
And
that quite a
set-
bit at the moment.
Mr. Beebe does it all the time.
That's really for
Did it
lots of
today.
reasons. Yeah.
just because of the small amount of pressure that's involved with live streaming yourself will motivate you to practice. The cool thing about that as well is every time you live stream on Facebook, it's recorded permanently in Facebook. It's archived, so you can go back and you can delete them if you're really unhappy with them, of course. But if you go back, you can look at your progress as you go. So you could set yourself a small 10-15 minute gig every week, or even just a teaching thing. Like this relates actually back to the teaching thing as well.
Yeah.
If you wanted to get online and teach a concept, you know, you might only have 5 people watching, so it's not masses of pressure. You can stop the stream whenever you like, you know, and it's a good way of. This is what you've been using it for, effectively.
It's just
Maybe just
so
really-
much pressure off.
Yeah, briefly explain what you do with it.
Yeah, so one of the things that I've had an issue with is like tension and feeling really self-conscious about playing in front of people, and so knowing that my ability is so much better than it often comes out in front of people is so frustrating. So one of the things I've trying with, like, initially Periscope and now the Facebook Live thing, is just having the opportunity, just knowing that if people can come, I'm not bothered if people watch or not, but I'm just knowing that they can come and peer in on what I'm doing, and just being very open and honest about what I can and can't do.
And there's a bit of interaction as well. Then,
Yeah, it's a
isn't
bit of
it?
a nice
It's like-
interaction, and sometimes it's not particularly productive practice, but it's just releasing some of that sort of pressure of feeling and of freezing up, especially with the stuff that. Yeah, and also working on the things that, you know, I'm really into at the moment. It's not always that interesting to watch me play and practice, but you know, it's just having that window into my world has really helped with the anxiety and the nervousness of performing and playing and stuff.
Fantastic. Okay, next one. Paul Anderson, any advice on how to overcome hitting a plateau in your guitar playing? Let's keep this short.
Go
Come
to
from a
gigs.
different
I'll do
angle.
that with this one.
Ah, Dave's hitting the nail on the head there, because this helped me very recently in the last few weeks. Go to gigs, listen to music as much as possible, and don't worry about taking a break if you need to. Make guitar playing exciting again.
Listen more, come at it from a different angle. Just, you know, pick up a different instrument for a bit. If you've got one lying around, just get anything that gets you excited again, really.
Take lessons.
Take lessons.
Yeah, go for a lesson with someone.
Yeah, there's
You know,
loads.
Skype a mate that plays. Just like do
Actually,
something. Do
Sean,
something sociable.
Sean Ash is a great example of this. If you know Sean Ash is on Facebook. Sean, I don't know if he still does, but I used to see all the time that Sean was, I'm on Skype with such and such. I'm on Skype with another guy this week. Just hanging out with people and chatting about
Yeah.
guitar. You've got the option now. If you like, obviously don't send Steve Vai a message going, can we hook up on Skype and talk about, you know, the Lydian
Show me the
mode?
good stuff.
Email or Skype people, you know, within your own circles. Because otherwise it's a lesson, really, isn't it?
You also connect a bit with people then, and it's like, because this can be, we were talking about this being a bit of a lonely thing sometimes, and that's why, you know, doing this is really cool, and you know, perhaps, you know, trying to meet people in the real world or on Skype, you know, socially, it's really,
Good point.
yeah.
Okay, Simon D. Pratt, strategies for breaking out of ruts solo-wise. I would say all the same things we just said.
Yeah, listen to new stuff. Get inspired again.
Listen to different instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Find a trick that somebody does and go, oh, what's that? I'm going to learn that, and then steal it.
Ryan Simmons, I've spoken to Sean quite a lot. His album's great as well. Also slow down and just allow yourself to explore the fretboard more. Just work
Try
at
the journey,
I always
man.
say this, but work at the pace your brain wants to work out. Don't just play the obvious things. Try and slow down, and you know, don't have a backing track on. Just explore the instrument, explore what's going on, and look for new sounds. Okay, Limmy Trapple, in your humble opinion, is a player with medium-high skills in different styles better or worse than the one who masters only just one? Or it depends on a personal point of view. You've nailed it on the last bit, I think.
Yeah.
Depends
It's
what
just
you want.
this whole better worse thing is
This is,
like I saw Greg.
How?
No, for crying out loud.
Davis.
No, guitar player, like
Greg
hilarious. Yeah, Greg Koch. Thank you. How
Oh,
could I
yeah,
forget
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Brain failure. Greg Koch did a stream yesterday, a live stream on Facebook, and he said something really interesting, which was he understands why people do the better and worse thing. Essentially, you know, just because when people start playing guitar, it's like a magical thing. You know, you don't understand why certain things work, and as you go through, that magic fades because you understand how things work. But while things are magical, you don't understand what makes one player different to another, and it can be this thing of better and worse, and you know, there's a magical thing involved with it. There still is to some extent, but I think better and worse in this instance is, you know, irrelevant. There's it's a completely different thing having medium to high skills in all sorts of different styles and being very versatile to someone who's got their own voice and sounds just like one style and is incredible.
Depends what you're trying to do in it, career-wise.
Totally, yeah. It's not a better or worse thing
Yeah.
at all. Okay, this is for you, Dave. David Sacker, Dave Bronze neck pickup setup. Are those two pickups you've got in that guitar?
Okay,
You're not
so I
going with
haven't
you.
got
but-
the guitar with me this week. On my Jaden Rose guitar, there is a Sustainiac pickup that looks like a single coil, and then there's a mini humbucker the mini humbucker is by Four Seasons, and it's just simply voiced as a single coil as well. So it's not like some magic new pickup. It's just me. I just take two pickups together to make it some kind of humbucker.
The
type
bronze
thing.
way.
Yeah, the bronze way was that.
Everyone loves a bit of cock.
Everyone loves a bit of cock. Laurie Monk.
Not
Ryan
that.
Simmons also has an interesting question. Have any of you found your listening skills at all taking away from any enjoyment from listening to music? Absolutely.
Yeah, the
The
curse
magic.
of the musician.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true. So Jordan
Although
Perks.
this predictable, finding it predictable and anything like that, that's useful to me because I end up in situations where I've got to try and nail a certain style,
Yes.
and you end up being able to like just pick out the cliches
Hmm.
and then expand on those, and you can makes you sound a bit more authentic sooner rather than. You know.
Yeah, so it can be an advantage as well. Jordan Perks has the last question. Hi, Jordan. How you doing? A few words, thoughts on keeping flexible practice routines or schedules without losing focus and going from topic to topic, trying to cover too much. Jordan says he either stays on something so long that it gets stale or boring and then doesn't revisit it for weeks and therefore gets rusty at it, or he jumps from X to Y to Z like haphazardly basically before he's even progressed at any of it. Any advice? It's a really difficult one, this, because there's so many things. Like Wayne Krantz has this thing where he talks about, you see as a musician like a door in front of you that says the Mixolydian mode. You open that door and 5,000 other doors show themselves that you could possibly walk through. It's very difficult. For me, I'm trying to think of what I do for this. I'm not sure I'm very good at this.
I felt like this when I was at the Guitar Institute, where you're learning so much stuff, you just feel overwhelmed. And I think
I did that at university. You've got so many other
Like,
hoops to
you've got-
jump through.
I think, and that is a necessary process where you try and learn everything, but eventually you narrow down to the things you like and you're interested in. So I
Yeah,
don't,
maybe that's
I'd,
why.
I'd say don't feel the need really to know and learn everything, because it's a long journey really.
It's difficult though, because as a guitar player, you hear something and you go, oh, I want that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like a little child walking past the shops.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, I want that. Give me that. I want that. I want, you know.
Forcing it's quite difficult. I tried to force myself to like jazz and ended up hating it. And then 10 years later, I've now fell massively in love with it, bizarrely. So it's like maybe, like, I don't know, it's like if you're finding it stale or boring, or you find it struggling to focus, maybe that's not the thing that you really want to be doing at that point in time. And I think forcing it is, I don't know, it's
I think
weird.
it as well is trying not to be too fickle as well. Is not to not go right. I've just seen Guthrie doing some country stuff. I'll learn some country stuff now,
Yeah.
and then try and pick stuff that's going to give you
Yeah.
more bang for your buck, kind of thing. So maybe stuff that's going to mean that you can pick those other things up quicker by doing some kind of core stuff, or something that you can use at a gig that week, or
Yeah,
like trying to, because that's exciting that you can go and use it straight away. Like I've worked on stuff that
yeah.
you don't ever use, and then you just don't go back to it.
My real strong. I mean, I've kind of given myself in this last little period of playing like this thing that I really want to get good at. My fretboard knowledge, playing over changes, and getting a level of improvisational technique with legato. And that's like, if that's enough, I think, for me to be happy with. I know it must have been a bit more mature to be able to then just not be distracted so much. Maybe back when I was younger, I'd have never been able to focus. That's what I was talking about with the Vi thing earlier on. Like I could focus on that thing, that technical thing, but maybe not the musical things.
There is definitely a almost Zen-like thing in terms of getting to the point where we talked about this a little bit the other day, just between us, where you're okay with the fact that you can't do everything today,
Yeah.
and that it is going to take a
An
long
element
time.
of acceptance.
And
It
this
is,
thing of you know, you don't want to be in a position where every week, just because it's the end of the week, you say, right, well, I've done sweep picking this week, now I'm going to do the Super Locrian mode. Like, those two things don't compute together particularly well. Another thing I would say is, if you can at all possibly do it, try and practice combinations of things at the same time. So if you're practicing a technical thing, you could, for instance, combine it with some theoretical knowledge, or you could combine it with some time feel stuff, or you can combine it with whatever. Kurt Rosenwinkel, you mentions this when he does his clinics. He always talks about when he practices, he tries to combine 2 or 3 things together. So he's not just practicing one thing, but then within that framework of having 2 or 3 things at the same time, you would do that for long enough that you get good at it. The idea that you would do it to the point where you master it is a complete fallacy. That's just ridiculous. Never practice anything until you master, because you won't master it. Practice it until you can do it well.
And that's the
Give
thing
up
about
now.
enjoying the
No,
journey.
it's not the same
No,
thing,
no,
is it?
I know,
It's not
I
the
know,
same
I know.
thing. I do want to point that out. I mean, I know you're making a joke, but it's not the same thing. You know.
Just kill yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. You know,
Guitar in the room.
the idea of
The
the
future.
idea of really mastering something is kind of silly, really. But
And that's the thing. The sooner you can get that,
Deal
enjoy
with
the,
that.
enjoy the journey,
Yeah.
and then you can enjoy the journey.
Exactly.
And you can just enjoy exploring a scale for like half an hour with no time or no backing tracking,
Staying
or
humble.
whatever, or what it might be. But yeah, I think that's you enjoying. We've all talked about this, but enjoying the journey and the process. It's trying
I think you found that umbrella thing of like those three things that will cover a lot of other stuff as well.
yeah.
So those three things as a whole, again, they're quite.
Doesn't
quite
help me in a
core, it's
Vige,
not-
unfortunately. All that stuff's falling to pieces now. But yeah, those things I'm really into, and that's fine. I'm okay with that, making peace with what I'm good at and what I'm not good at.
yeah, I mean, Paul Anderson just made me think of something else. Paul Anderson wrote, "Sometimes we can be our own worst critics at times, and I think that hinders development in practice. Don't be so hard on yourself." That's really a big key to this. Is just become comfortable in your own guitar playing skin, and don't like. I've learnt this again because I've learnt it many times, but I learnt it again very recently. You'd agree with that, yeah?
Yeah.
And since becoming a little bit more open to the idea that I don't need to rush, I've relaxed a huge amount about my playing, and you know, it's not a race. It's not something that you need to do today, even though we really want to get it done today.
Yeah.
Just take your time and enjoy the process. Okay, so
Yeah.
quick picks of the week. I may be the only one who's got one, but if you
I've
guys
got
can think-
one.
All right, we'll do yours first then.
It's like an Americana band led by a guy called Pokey Lafarge.
Get it typed in.
Ooh.
But he has this absolute beast of like a harmonica
Pokey
player.
Lafarge.
But it's kind of like it's sort of western swingy, very vintage.
Was he
kinda,
born Pokey Lafarge?
I don't know.
That's a ridiculous name.
That's yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad that was useful, Jordan.
But yeah, it's kind of like the guitar playing. It's like kind of turn that off. Like kind of
Oh, is that where that was from?
yeah.
Nice.
So it's kind of the guitar players are like that kind of gypsy-ish sort of stuff. It's cool. It's very enjoyable. Getting quite into it.
Okay.
Lyrically, it's good as well.
My pick of the. Oh, have you got one, Mr. Beebe?
No. I'll abstain from picks of the week.
I have
Save
one.
time.
My favourite non-guitar instrumental album is an album called Not All Who Wander Are Lost by mandolin player Chris Tile.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Look
yeah.
that up, it's just beautiful.
I think we did this on,
fantastic
talked
playing.
about it on the stream. I think it's Teely.
Teely, is it?
Yeah, apparently. That's how
Okay.
it's pronounced.
Chris
Pokey
Teely.
Lafarge. What's that? Is it porn name? Yeah,
So
exactly.
not
yeah.
not all who wander are lost. If you
Sorry,
get that
Dave.
album, you will not be disappointed. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I should buy that because actually I've never bought anything by him, but I love his playing.
Yeah.
It's worth watching his videos on YouTube where he plays the Bach violin sonatas and partitas as well. Okay, yeah, I mean, you guys feel free, by the way, to recommend stuff to other people in the chat or on the Guitar Hour Facebook page. My pick of the week is a friend of mine, David Wallerman, has just released his album, and it's called Evolving Seeds of Glory. A lot of you guys will have heard of David Wallerman. It's really good album. It's like a prog rock album. I think it's like he's fairly prolific. He's got quite a few albums out, but this is a brand new one, came out this week. Available on iTunes, available from his website. Fantastic album. Wholeheartedly recommend it. If you buy it, you get a digital download, and then they'll send you the CD as well.
Oh, thanks, David, for sending me as a birthday present.
Really?
He messaged me
What a
very
cool-
kindly.
what a
and
cool guy.
We had a chat on. He was wishing me happy birthday and said check your email, and the album was in my inbox. So thank
He's-
you very much, David. That's really kind of you.
He's a lovely chap, is Mr. Wellerman. You should check out guitarplayback.com as well. That's his website. Okay, so one thing is left for us to do. It's the usual thing.
That's it.
Remember, guys, we're about to
Solo
play
this
the. It's you, then me, then him, right?
Oh yeah.
We're doing that. Oh, we're doing that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go on.
I'll sit down.
Only because you were fiddling with
Yeah, that's fine.
the turtle microphone at the time.
I was playing with my turtle.
So, as usual, we're going to play the theme tune to finish with. But remember, we want to hear your versions of the theme tune. Get on Facebook, on the Guitar Hour's Facebook page, facebook.com/The Guitar Hour, and you will. You will be able to download the backing track for this that we're about to play. We want you to play over the middle bit where we solo. Please don't play over the melody or the outro. Unless you can do something super cool that's amazing over the outro. Like we've had a couple that are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Can we just do a very quick sound check? What on earth?
My ego's gone mental.
Your ego.
Yeah, my Wampler ego is just going a little bit.
Is it having a bit of a hissy fit?
I think I just kicked the volume up so it's boosting too much.
Alright guys. It's going to get noisy. That means that's good. That noise is
Here
good.
it comes.
Okay, let's
Get
see.
loud.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
See you next time, guys. We'll see
you guys.
you next week. Come to the Vi gig.
Yeah, come and